Well, hey everyone. It turns out that we ended up with a leak in our water pump here, and I'm just about to try and do a fix. Um, it just was leaking just a little bit around the bolt. A little drip here, a little drip there, so it ended up being a bit of a mess here. We caught it in time, so that's okay. But what I'm looking at doing now is just to go ahead and fix it. So what they have here, I'll just have to flip the camera around. Okay. So it's a SureFlow, and here's the actual where the water goes into it. And this piece here gets connected in between. So this here is what's inside. Now this part here is the gasket, and so it's just leaking like right there. So what I did, there's kind of a gaskety material there, not really, just more of a film that I scraped off here. And then I had a bolt. Actually, you can see that there's a room for a nut in there, and that was all seized up, and then the bolt broke off. So I had a bit of a hassle trying to pound that out. Actually, a guy at Home Hardware helped me out to do that. Save my bacon on that one, because at home I could just go ahead and do it, put it in the vise, and have her done. But when you're on the road, I wish I would have had vice grips on the road. I don't have vice grips. And a little punch, yeah, that would be. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and try and do a fix here. I bought some silicone, and I'm going to go ahead and just put it on the other housing that mates up to this. The other housing is plastic. I'm just going to put it so there'll just be a little thin film of silicone along here. And I know that's not what you're supposed to do, but I'm on the road and I'm a bit desperate. I don't know why it leaked past here. All this rubber looks good. I cleaned everything up on the receiver end of the housing, because the housing is right here. Let's see, can you see that? It's all stepped as well, multiple steps in there. That's where the rubber fits in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and just put just the slightest bit of silicone on there, just to give it that extra seal, and bolt it back up. And yeah, and I had to go and get some bolts as well to do that. So that's my project now. Okay, now here is the silicone I bought. It is the marine silicone, so it can adhere to, says here, permanently waterproof, always flexible, bonds to fiberglass, wood, metal, glass, and most plastics. So it's plastic onto a cast metal. Yeah, so give that a whirl. Yeah, the pump fix was a fail, so I decided to go ahead and buy that other pump. And I've just installed it now. It's not really soldered in properly. I just used some Moretz. I'll show you. But yeah, I'm just filling up the tank now. I checked for leaks, and we'll have to go and see what's happening here. Okay. Water tank is underneath our bench here. And this is the other SureFlow that got replaced. And it was leaking, oops, it was leaking right here, just out of this thing, just dipping on here and dropping down. And I had pulled it all apart, and I had put the silicone in between here, but it didn't hold. It was just shooting out. It was even worse than before. So that's the new bad boy in there. And really there's just the two wires to deal with. There was a positive and a negative. So snipped those off, got a Moret on there. It's on nice and tight, and as well as a negative here. I got kind of a sketchy thing going here, because I got my Mosconi power amp and an Alpine power amp right by the water system here, which makes me a bit nervous because they don't mix very well. But I really don't have a lot of room to deal with big power amps in this rig here. So anyhow, yeah, tank's getting full. We'll have to see how it goes. I believe we're good. We checked for leaks here, and now these actually, when they screw on, you don't have to use any kind of Teflon tape or anything else. They got like a little plastic ferrule in there that actually self-seals. So you just tighten those up. Those two pop off. There's the two positive negatives you cut off. Pull it out. Pop the new one in, and it works good. It's a lot quieter. It's a much nicer unit. And yeah. We'll let you know if it doesn't work, but if you don't hear back, it's a go. We're back in the business here.